ahead of Orchard David, and then ahead of Chopper in P3. Then it's Honey Badger in P4, and Hamilton in P5. Carlos GB in P6, but he is not racing tonight, neither is Sayuza, by the way. Then it's Mark NUFC in P7, and Vulcan in P8, who we haven't seen since that elusive win in Bahrain. Nikos in P9, and then the Gort in P10. Orchard Sox in P11. Mixilius in P12. NR83 NR is in P13. Terra Martin is in P14, but he hasn't started yet, and neither is Lonnie. So Martin and Lonnie still haven't come out on track to race properly. Anywho, so Sippo, you've just come off a very hot and sweaty 39 laps around Monaco. You had a great qualifying, though. What's the key to qualifying around this track?
Stay out the walls, keep it clean, pick your moments, because you get stuck behind someone, it's not great to get past them. You know, even in qualifying, obviously the race is bad enough, but when you're in qualifying, you've got to hope that they're going to get out the way, and there's not many places that they can get out the way. So timing is key, and obviously avoid those walls as well is also key.
It definitely is, and Monaco is a track that arguably shouldn't be on the Formula One calendar. I know that I think post 2020 they're looking at extending the track a little bit further up to have a more open area, a bit like Baku's first turn sector, like a square where there's actually more overtaking zones. I think that's what they're talking about.
Or they could just scrap it completely and go somewhere better.
Such as, name a track. Fight your argument.
I quite like the Miami layout that they're looking at doing. That does look really good.
Excuse me while I open the door and vomit in the comms box.
No, it does look quite cool, you know. But I think that's quite a way away yet. But no, Monaco is just... It's just like Scalextrics, isn't it? You know, you stay behind one another, and you know, it's like putting all the cars on the same side of the track and sit there for 39 laps in the 50% race, or 78 in real life, or whatever it is, and it's just boring.
All right, we've just been informed that Hamilton will be 1 minute away, so we should have 13 drivers going racing here tonight. I think seeing Lee Nall if he's in here. Lee Nall is still in here, so it'll be 12 drivers with Hamilton once he gets in. But yes, Monaco is quite a controversial track. It's quite boring. Obviously, a Red Bull that can win on 40% less power, which, you know, has Renault power, so that's 40% of no power can win this season against a fully powered Ferrari is very questionable.
Yeah, it's just called parking a bus, isn't it?
We saw an evidence of that in GP2. Will be mentioned later on to the stewards, obviously.
Yes, definitely. Bit naughty there, I think. It was caught on stream. 2 streams, actually.
We're in commentary mode right now. We've got our commentary pants on. Well, at least I have. I'm in my nice suit, and he's in his race suit and his wet underwear, the Honda H across his crotch. So.
Oh, dear.
So, shall we run through the drivers we have in tonight? So far, apart from Hamilton, who's not joined us, we have neither Mercedes have joined us, graced them with their presence tonight. I think they can win the championship. We're just not even turning up for one race. I think, you know what, some people can be able to do that. Then in the Ferrari, there's only Chopper tonight, as Carlos is unable to race. And in the Red Bull, there's only Mark, as NR83 haven't seemed to turn up himself. Then in the Force India, there is Mixidis, and he's the only driver there. As his teammate quite openly quit the league in the last event after a big accident with another driver. Then there's Vanquish and Fretton in the Williams. They've moved over from Premier to GP2, now to Premier, and they're in the same team now, and I think they're very comfortable together. Now in the Renault, there is the Gort, standalone driver. Still, excuse me while I'm out of breath because I did just run up the stairs. But his teammate Vulcan hasn't made an appearance, obviously, since he won the race. I think his seat is under question. Then there's Vin Blanc in the Toro Rosso, and AJ to the P, who is reserving tonight for Honey Badger, who is unable to race tonight. In the Haas, there is Nikos. Then there's Peter Solheim in the McLaren, who's testing, and then Orchard David. Orchard Tox is not able to join us tonight. So yes, Peter Solheim is testing to race in Premier. I believe he should stay in Premier due to his pace. His pace is absolutely quick. If you don't know Peter, he's absolutely like a bullet. I mean, AJ. No, see now I'm doing it. Zippo, you're racing against him now. You used to race against him.
Who? Sorry.
Petter Solheim.
Yeah, he's quick. Too quick for GP2. So yeah, I think he'll do well in the Prem. To be honest, yeah, he's just too quick for GP2.
Definitely is, right, as all drivers are getting ready to send over track. Obviously, as I'm going through a little bit of puberty as my voice is starting to crack. I do apologise, I'm a little bit sick tonight. So I'm lay here in my bed. Not sure how I feel right now, but I think, I'll survive.
It's not a... numbers are a bit low, aren't they?
It is, as Hamilton has just joined here. Unfortunately, he will not qualify as his router decided to be a router, and we're racing in the day here. So this is the day after GP2 this time. Instead of being on the same day, GP2 race at night, and now Monaco is in the day here in Prem.
Was this not meant to be at night time?
It was meant to be a night time, but I believe there was just a little bit of a rush between every setup.
Yeah, I'll take responsibility for that one. That was my fault.
He said it there. He's taking responsibility. I guess I should give you your towel back now, you sweaty Honda mess.
Yeah. Cheers. So we got what we got coming out? A Red Bull, I think. No, Force India. Ooh. So let's go on board with him.
And a McLaren as well. The Williams obviously coming
McLaren
out together.
McLaren and both Williams. So I'm going to go on board with Pedder if you go on board with first man out on track.
Exilius, yes. And in some time between this 18-second qualifying session, I am mysteriously going to ask Zippo to take us through a lap of Monaco, as I normally do.
Oh no, don't ask me for turn names.
I'm not talking turn names, I'm just talking what you have to do in these corners.
Oh god, cheers.
He's wishing he'd stayed in his broken Toro Rosso now. But that's what you get from having a Honda engine in the back.
I can just about navigate around the track, let alone do a talk through a lap.
You haven't heard AJ yet, have you?
I was listening to the stream whilst racing, yeah.
So you heard AJ not be able to keep up for one bit?
Yeah, he was on board with a Sauber and he was about 6 turns behind, I think.
To be fair, at Monaco your brain is 6 turns behind anyway.
Yeah. That is true, actually.
So we're following Mixilius drama as he starts his lap now in the Force India, that beautiful pink and white Force India. He's heading towards the start of his lap through turn 1, now nailing it as well as it was. I think the fastest qualifying time in GP2 was a 1:11.00.
As Pedder Solheim has just hit the wall, and he'll be bailing out of that lap, I believe. Yes, he is.
That is very unfortunate for the McLaren driver. It'd be interesting to see the time difference. Obviously, with it being Monaco, there's the elusive issue with it being wheel versus pad track, and it definitely has swung in the way of wheels in this recent history, and I think in this game it's no different.
So I'm going to go on board with Vanquish then, as Pedder's backed out of his lap, so I'll go on board with Vanquish, who is going to be the guy to set the lap second, I believe, unless Pedder does actually... No, he definitely won't be. Yep, I'm on board with Vanquish.
So Mixilius has just bounced off the wall where Sam Bird crashed in Formula E. Gotta mention it once every stream, at least once. But he managed to keep his car in one piece, unlike Sam Bird in Formula E. And he heads now to the end of his lap, and that immediately is much quicker than the GP2 pole time. It was a 1:09.3.
Oh my god. That was some serious pace there.
Definitely is. Here's Vanquish, who you were just watching. Any major dramas?
Not really. I mean, I don't think he's had the cleanest of laps. I mean, I don't remember him hitting a wall. Usually you can hear the massive crunch, but I didn't hear anything. And there's yellows in sector 2 as AJ goes second with a 1:10.7.
Here comes Mark NUFC, and he's just started his lap now. Sorry, that was an invalidated lap that first time round. But Chopper goes P4 momentarily, then P5 after Nikos
yep. So who's the next guy to cross the finish line? Let's have a look. It's going to be the Gore, and the Gore has just hit the wall. So it's not going to be the Gore.
This is I switched off the Renault driver. Well, there's always one, isn't there?
Just as I went on board, he hit the wall. So could be the curse of the commentators coming back right there.
Well, I did it in GP2. I did this as I boost on like literally the last lap he crashed. So you know.
Yes, he did.
I really should be a commentator. But still, Mark NUFC controlling his car completely. He's heading towards the end of the lap. Oh, very brave there, seeing the stricken remains of the Renault going, nah, still gonna ghost.
He's flying through there, but he's backed out, so I guess he must have invalidated it, yeah.
Here comes Chopper. Obviously, tyre wear isn't really a thing, but Chopper's nearly in the wall. Tyre wear is not a major thing in Monaco. It's almost like it doesn't exist, but look at that, Nikos, even faster.
Oh, wow. 109.1. Insane pace right there.
These guys are proving why they're Premier drivers right here.
We've got Mark who's going round again, but the thing is, he's on. What's he on? He's on the ultra soft, so he doesn't want to do. He's already done 2 laps. This will be his 3rd lap. He doesn't really want to do too many on the same set. Which obviously doesn't want to be starting on really worn tyres, so he's all over the place at the moment.
He definitely is, and it seems that his back end really isn't there. Obviously, as we discussed in GP2 with AJ, who's currently sat in P3, you need a very high rear wing, high ballast, but you can get away with having a little bit less front wing. Mark is retired.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think I run 9-10 or 10-11 wings around here.
Do you hear the scribbling of the papers and writing down the setup?
Yeah.
Oh, that's anger. That's pure anger from Mark. He's left the session after crashing and qualifying. That is frustrating. Obviously for the admins, that's frustrating. But as well, that's frustrating for him as well.
I think
maybe he'll come back after.
Hopefully he'll come back, but I'm not sure. There's I'll be quiet actually. As Pedder's going through the tunnel on a fast lap right now. He's nice.
He almost sent it too early, didn't he?
He did. He almost done what Lee Nell did in the previous race.
If you can't tell, both commentators are very sick right now, so excuse us if we're dying. And the Solheim's rear end coming away from him.
Yeah, he has. He's gone quite deep into there. And Hamilton has left the session as well, so maybe his route has gone too again, or he just doesn't want to wait around whilst qualifying goes on. As Pedder goes 3rd, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why he's not GP2.
Definitely isn't. I've been informed it is a dry race right now, and it's very interesting to see that we have lost 2 drivers already, being one being Hamilton and one being Mark. We should see what would happen.
And obviously Lee Nell isn't actually racing, so he's not in here either. So we only actually have 10 grid.
Yeah, Lee is Lee on that board, is he? I can't see him.
Lee's not on the board, no. So as it stands, there is only a 10. I don't know how he can spectate.
I'm having a moment.
But yeah, it's only going to be a 10 grid, which isn't great for viewers, really.
Yeah. Zip, do you mind if you could just send Mark an invite? I don't have him on my list, and obviously being streaming, I can't do it.
Yes, I don't have him either.
Sure, I can read the name out to you if you need me to.
It's okay. What we'll do is we'll go like that. Oh, I can't do it that way. Right, Mark NUFC. No, I can't invite because I'm spectating.
Ah, that's not helpful.
No, that won't let me. And Hamilton has rejoined.
That is his router. Anyway, as we're trying to work out admin issues right now, we're sat here with 9 minutes left to go to the session. Nikos is in P1 ahead of Mixilius Drama. Then there's Chopper in P3, a good qualifying for him so far.
Mixilius Drama's just gone pole.
Look at that. And look at the gap. Very close there between the two Greek drivers. I want to say Greek, I hope they're both Greek there. Pedal Solheim is in P4, AJ in P5, and Threaten in P6 ahead of his new teammate, Vanquish in P7. Orchard David has yet to set a lap. He currently sat on the wet tyres as he was a tease, and Vin Bank hasn't managed to do a lap either. Here's Chopper.
Just bear with me, I'm still watching. Where are we going? Who's doing a lap, sorry?
I'm on board with Chopper right now.
Okay, I'm on board with Drama.
Chopper's into the pit lane, so I am going up to Nikos. But he's coming into the pit lane too because he lifted off. And, okay. Okay, so this is a question to Paul. As a driver, when you're aiming to get back to the pit lane in time, do you ever cut corners deliberately?
With me, me personally?
Yes. You
No, I don't see the point in it. I don't believe I've only ever done it if I've got severe wing damage, i.e. no wing, and I physically can't make a corner. Other than that, I will make sure that I don't get myself any warnings or any stupid grid penalties, because I don't know if that happens. Just for getting back to the pits, if I've not done well enough, or if I'm not high enough on the time permitted, then that's my fault. Get better next time.
Yep, and that we just witnessed Nikos doing that at the chicane, going straight on after lifting off deliberately so he wouldn't get a penalty. That is a reference to Hamilton. He's unable to select his car because he is not putting a qualifying lap.
Yeah, so he will just get a random car at the start of the race, and then wherever he finishes, if he does finish, I will allocate the points to him in the team that he's meant to be in.
Yes. Also, thank everyone right here. Thank this gentleman sat next to me, this very sweaty Toro Rosso driver who wears who makes the tables for us. Mate, I would kiss you, but again, you need a shower. Because Christ.
Yeah, you can smell me from there, yeah.
Let me open the window. But yeah, we witnessed Nikos going straight on at the chicane after lifting off so he wouldn't get a penalty. I think that's going to be definitely looked at by the stewards now, because I've seen people do it in many races now across both series, and it's starting to get a bit on my nerves, not going to lie.
Yeah, it's not the right way to do things. I'm just got on board with AJ. I believe he's on a lap.
Well, I've been following him the entire lap, so I just hope so. Whoa, skipping the barrier, there's a front wing plate coming off the car. As he crosses the line, he's pushed absolutely hard, and that's pushed it and paid off. Look at that.
Yeah, he's definitely a very quick driver. Not as quick as some of these guys in here, but what I like about AJ is not always his one lap pace is good, but it's more about his racecraft. I mean, he's so consistent throughout the race. Where you got a lot of drivers can put a phenomenal lap in for quali, but then their distance pace and their distance race craft isn't anywhere near as strong. So I don't always think it pays to be ridiculously fast over one lap as opposed to over a full distance.
I mean, I was never good at qualifying, and I was alright in the race.
Yeah, I've gone through different stages where recently my qualifying has been relatively good, and then my races seem to go to pot. And before, I used to be absolutely terrible in qualifying, but great in the race. I'm just trying to find that nice balance between the two.
So yeah, as we both know, me and Zipper are old in the class worlds of league racing. I did it for 3 seasons before I retired, which is a respectable amount of time league racing. I've
been league racing since 2016 game. You're looking at about 2 seasons a game, I reckon. Yeah, you can get roughly 2 seasons a game, so 2, 4, what's that, 6 seasons?
Don't ask me. Do you think I can do maths? I can do cars, numbers, and that's about it.
No, we're on the 2018 game, so it's 4 seasons, isn't it? I've done 3 seasons in my league and 1 with someone else, as well as, odd races here and there.
SFR, don't trust our maths. Yes, that is a thing. I am donning the race suit and helmet once more, much like David Coulthard should do, but he won't do it. And I will be returning for us during the now announced SFR Classic League, which is coming out in a few weeks' time. As we're looking at Vinbank, just waiting for his teammate to leave before he can pull it into the pit lane. But yes, we will be racing in the Classic League. The tracks and the cars are yet to be announced. If you want a place, they go quickly. We need these 10 drivers to go racing by the 6th of November. 4 seats already claimed. Myself, Lee, Zippo, who's sat right next to me. Thank God we won't be in the same car again. And gaming things are all confirmed already for the Classic event that will be going on Tuesday. This event will be a non-live streamed event. It will be recorded by another driver who will be doing what we are doing in the commentary box, is recording it. I will be doing the voiceover the day after, and then uploading it either on the same day on the Wednesday or on the Thursday afterwards.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that. I do hope Braun's in there, but obviously need the DLC pack for that. So if you haven't got the DLC pack, buy it.
If you have the DLC, you can, but we will be running the Braun. If drivers do, we'll have the DLC.
Oh, good. So if you haven't got it, buy it.
Please do, because that's my favourite ever Grand Prix car.
Yeah, I can't wait to drive it, to be honest. I'm still yet to drive it. No.
Hold on.
I'm looking very forward to doing it. It's got to be AJ. Oh no, threaten.
AJ, get out of the way.
AJ, get out of the way of Pedder.
Yep, definitely. As we've got 2 minutes to go.
AJ's gone onto a brand new set of tyres as well. He's on the Hypersofts.
Lots of people going for the Hypersofts, not seeing the benefit of what happened in GP2, which was going ultra soft to super softs was the setup that won the race ultimately. Yeah,
I mean, I did start Hypersofts. The VSC came out quite early, and I thought, oh, I'll take a sneaky pit stop, and yeah, never mind. We'll move on. On to Canada next week.
Can I just go back to the fact that you name your son after Jensen and you've not driven the Braun yet?
I know. But I haven't met him, obviously. I have met him personally, so I guess that counteracts me not driving the Braun.
Pause the league race. Tell us this story.
What, I'm meeting Jensen Button?
Yes, you better do. Tell me who's in his on.
No, I've met both Jensen and Hamilton.
Again? Elaborate, my dear.
Basically, I used to work at a go-karting track down by... It's not there anymore, it's closed down, by Heathrow Airport. And I done a McLaren day back when, obviously, Button and Hamilton were at McLaren together. McLaren's headquarters, Honda's headquarters are just around the corner. And obviously, when McLaren came down, they done a McLaren day with us. And I actually got to meet them, sat down, actually had to do a full track briefing with them. Both sat in the briefing room, tell them all the rules and the do's, the don'ts around the track. And then went out on track with them as well. It was a
you must have been bricking it to tell them how to drive.
Yeah, it was quite eventful. Both were cracking little jokes every now and again. And then trying to actually keep up with them two on the track was quite interesting. I can't remember how many times they both flew straight past me. But no, it was definitely a day to.
I'm jealous right now.
Well, I'm a bit jealous that you've held the Mercedes steering wheel, if I'm honest.
Well, you see, that's it. That's the joy of when I was a marshal. I'm not sure how many marshal events I'm going to be doing as I'm back at college. I got to do a Mercedes day, if you don't know, and I got to go to the factory, have a nose at their stuff. And it's not like they said about the McLaren day. They spend 40 minutes driving around the lake because they say it's part of the experience. But it's versus Mercedes. We literally went into the garages. We got to have a look at all the cars and all that, and we got to see it was the Canadian Grand Prix practice on. And we were all just sat there at some points listening to what he was saying, but also looking up at the screen occasionally. And I remember hearing a few Mercedes guys whispering when Hulkenberg's engine blew up.
Right.
And they were just whispering like, "Oh, okay, that's happened. Let's hope Renault don't do. Let's hope we don't do that."
Fair enough.
But anyway, That's the end of qualifying here. Maxilius Drama is on pole position ahead of Nikos in P2. Then there's Vimbank in P3 and AJ, the reserve driver, in P4. Chopper, who we're just looking at now, the only Ferrari in the race, is in P5, and Vanquish is in P6 ahead of Perla Solheim in P7. Orchard Davis, who didn't really get a lap together from what we saw, is in P8 ahead of Fretton, who in P9, who definitely didn't get a lap together. Then there's the Gort, who crashed, Mark NUSC, who hopefully returns to us, and Hamilton, who couldn't do a lap because his wheels decided to be a
It did, yes. Apologies, as I'm just replying to a couple of messages about the previous race, but not in any of our chats.
I should hope so. Anyway, but yes, there is the confirmation. It's an all Greek top 3. Don't know what that accent was.
But look at the top 2. That is incredibly close. Incredibly close.
That definitely shows that they are they know what they're doing tonight.
It does. That's wow. Yeah, that's quite. Yeah, I mean, it just
I believe is the word.
Yeah, it just blows the GP2 times. I mean, even Fretton in 9th. I don't even think he was. I think he's still faster than GP2 as well.
Let's have a look.
A 111. I think we were getting 112s, were we not?
The fastest was a 111.005.
Oh, was it really? Oh, wow.
So we're heading on to the race now, but first we've got the formation lap of the small amount of drivers that we have in tonight. It's going to be difficult, obviously, everything.
I've got names and swirlies next to them. That's all I've got.
Yeah, we're going to sit here and wait because they're just all connecting there, setting their strategies up. We're looking here at that wonderful pit lane in Monaco. Not really a pit lane, it's more of a pit curve now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I just don't like the track at all. I don't know. It's just something about it, and obviously fans don't like it either because they stand on the right hand side there, it's half empty, so people are getting the same gist as everyone else.
That might be just Codemasters coding into the game, but they don't like the game. They don't like the track either. So, I don't have any lights, so the guys are leading us away on the formation laps now. Maxilius in pole position ahead of Nikos in P2. Vimbank in P3, who's a good showing for his first time out, ahead of AJ in P4, the number 1 car, who is a champion somewhere, but not in this league. He's only reserving site for Honey Badger. Then there's Chopper in P5 and Vanquish in P6. Should be Pedal Solheim, who's testing himself out in the McLaren in P7. Then there's Orchard David in P8. Fretton in P9 and the Gort in P10. Mark should be here, but he's not here in P11. And Hamilton is in P12 in the Mercedes. That is that his car actually? I think that's his car. Isn't it?
He is in the he is in the Mercedes. Yeah, that's it. That's the word I'm looking for. God.
To be fair, mate,
is it bedtime yet?
Oh, you probably did. How many times I decided to call AJ, say that AJ was racing when he was sat right next to me.
Yeah, and then last week you kept calling him me, so I'll take that as a bit of a compliment, actually, because he's a darn sight quicker than me.
I'm having a moment. To be fair, there's something wrong in my brain if I can't remember names. So, just got a message through from our dear friend Hamilton over in the Mercedes. Oh dear, he's on the default setup versus everyone else who couldn't load the setup.
Oh yes, because of Parc Fermé. No, it wouldn't have let him use it anyway because of Parc Fermé. Oh wow, this could be interesting.
Hamilton is in P12. Maxilius is in P1. Greek top 3 and AJ being the highest placed Brit is aiming to get amongst them. We're getting ready for 5 red lights here in Monaco as every driver lines up, and there's Hamilton there, and he is going to be sat there thinking, there's no setup.
It'd be interesting to see how he does.
5 red lights here in Monaco. The lights are on, the lights are out, the drivers are away now. No. Sometime
there we go.
There we go.
Wow, that was the late start.
Little bit, and you see Hamilton having a big issue back there, but look at that. Maxilius going straight on AJ. Aiming to go into P3. Is he able to make it? No, not yet. Every driver cutting through, and you see AJ and Vimbank very close together. The closest move of Solheim losing position to the south of the Gort, of Orchard David. They will come streaming down, and Vinbag getting a 5-second stop go penalty for cutting the corner and gaining a position. I assume that was on AJ.
Oh wow, so there's a penalty already. Other than that, it appears to be everyone else is getting away quite clean. No major contact that I've seen yet.
Tell you what's a good shout. If you look at the tyre barrier, tyre list right now, as we're looking at Chopper getting close to AJ. I've got some awful camera angles right now. Here's Chopper trying to close to AJ, but AJ is also trying to close up to his teammate. But Mercedes is currently controlling, and everyone's staying in pretty much order except for Solheim and David, who have lost positions themselves.
Yeah, Vanquish was kissing the wall a couple of times there. No damage, I don't think.
Already disappeared. There we go, leading his way is Mercedes in P1, ahead of Nikos in P2, then Vinbag in P3, AJ in P4, Chopper in P5, Vanquish in P6, Ortiz David in P7, Solheim in P8, Threaten in P9, De Gort in P10, Hamilton in P11, and then it will be Mark, but Mark is not joining us tonight by the sounds of it.
Oh, Vinbank into the wall just then. Rear tyres clipping the barrier there, which has allowed AJ to get right on his gearbox.
That is going to get interesting between two Toro Rossos. One running number 1 and one running, don't know what number Vinbank's got on his car.
No, can't see it.
I'll have a look. Get my telescope out. No, can't see. Side shot, that's another 71, I want to say. 81. 81? 81. So 81 versus 1. Or 87. Oh god, I hate numbers. But he's got some serious pace. So right now, Peter Solheim is the closest driver. He's closing up to the Irishman of Orchard David. He got his eyes on it as he's trying to get close up to him. But it doesn't look like he's able to close up as quickly as possible. He's kissing the barrier just a bit. 39 laps of racing here tonight as 11 drivers go absolutely ham round here.
And you've got Mixodus setting the fastest lap once more of a 1:12. Almost 2 seconds ahead of P2. All quite close together. The closest battle though is Pedder on Orchard David right now. Pedder seems to be settling in quite well into the Prem, to be honest.
He definitely is, and he's got his eyes to try and continue on and push harder. He was obviously second in the championship in GP2, but we saw that he really was too quick for GP2, so we decided as admins to offer him, or to trial him in Prem, and he seems to be doing rather well. He's not, he might not be the fastest, but still, he's going to have some good fun trying to pass these guys.
Well, as you said, he's not the fastest, but I mean, he put P7 on quali. That is pretty good considering these are quite rapid drivers.
They definitely are, and obviously all of these drivers are going to be pushing out so hard. This is only lap 3 here.
Obviously, I know myself how quickly these guys can drive. I've sat in on the same grid as them a couple of times, and yeah, I've decided not to do that anymore. It's great practice for the wheel, but it does nothing for your confidence. They're just way too fast.
I tell you what, Vanquish had a big issue though. His rear tyres are absolutely dead. Here comes Orchard David, but you can't make a move through here. Racing drivers say that you can go 2x2 through this tournament, but you definitely can't. Vanquish is lost it fully this time. Whoa! And that was a brown pants moment for the Sauber driver.
I would say it was because you had Pedder right behind him as well, so that could have been an extremely nasty collision. Because what's happened with this game is obviously the cars do not ghost quick enough. Last season last year's game it wasn't as bad, but this year the cars and ghosting is almost non-existent. You know, it takes them a good 30 seconds or more to actually ghost. And an incident like that is just not. Yeah.
That was a good job for David, who knew what he was doing there.
That was actually very, very great awareness. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Great awareness there from David. Vanquish.
You saw how his rear end was slipping. I think David must have been thinking, right, I can't push too hard because this guy's going to lose it.
Well, yeah, it was very squirmy through sector 1. Now Vanquish, I'm on board with Vanquish now. He is pitting, so he does have damage. Let me see. He's got a 5-second stop go penalty as well for the pit lane. And let me see if he's going to get a new front wing. There is a new front wing, so he's lost an end plate there. SFR Chopper catching up to the back of AJ. AJ seems to have stepped back a bit from P3. Now, obviously, I don't know if he'd have been told about the 5-second stop go that Vin Blank's got. So choosing not to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, just to keep within 5 seconds of him from when he pits, maybe.
If it isn't, and right now Peter Solheim's under threat though from Breton in the
Yeah,
Williams. Look at that big slide though from Williams. It seems Williams this time have got too little downforce in their car. Normally they've got a little bit too much half the time.
Half the time? You mean most of the time?
Oh, it's Williams. Love that team to bits. But still, continuing on through here, he's aiming to get past him. But look at that, Chopper's right at the back end of AJ. Is there damage on that Toro Rosso?
I will check. Not that I can see, no. He just seems to be under a lot of threat. A lot of threat. It just seems that Chopper's pace seems to be a lot better than AJ's around here.
Oh, he's almost pushing him up the hill.
It's almost like he's holding him up here. Oh, that's very out. That's
oh dear!
That's
no,
damage.
Contact between both drivers.
That is damage.
Just a bit.
He's now got AJ's now got Orchard David right behind him as well. So we'll be seeing a pit stop from AJ coming up.
Has been deployed.
Now,
we
what
have
is
a
that
VSC
for?
on track.
What would that be for,
I believe
though?
that was for the amount of debris that came off AJ's car.
Oh well, at least they've actually fixed it.
Vaguely. Lots of drivers losing it tonight, and I think it's very interesting to see they're losing it. But look at that, 3-second gap between Mixilius and Nikos, and that is very quick from them. And I'll tell you what, AJ is going to have to think fast, because there's an Orchard Sox behind him. The Flower is aiming to be Flower Power and get past it.
Well, I'm wondering whether that oh, there goes more of his wing. If that virtual safety car stays on for AJ to pit, he may be able to get let me get my words out. Let me put my teeth back in and I'll be able to speak. He'll be able to come back out on track and still push.
No, he won't, because his teammate's in.
Oh no.
Where's his teammate? Where's
the teammate is on the pit exit. On the pit exit. So
AJ, no, they're not ready. They're not ready.
Well, he's got I believe he had a stop-go penalty as well.
Yeah, AJ's got a stop-go penalty. Yes.
So I wonder if he served that this.
Who crashed in qualifying? No, in P4.
Wow. So AJ all the way down there in 10th now. Chopper's pitted as well. Virtual safety car's over, so they can go back to full racing. So the closest battle on track now is the Gort on Fretton. And considering...
Yeah, not much in that.
No, so you've got David, the Fretton and the Gort with the biggest gainers today. All three are up 6 positions, whereas AJ is down 6, so he's the biggest loser. Hamilton now up to 7th on a bog standard setup, which is a pretty good drive.
Definitely is a good chopper. He's starting to close back in on Peter Solheim.
Yeah. So it's actually very good.
Definitely is. All of these drivers, obviously remember it's only lap 8 here in Monaco. Going on to lap 9, or maybe not going on to lap 9 yet. Excuse my yawning, it's been a very long night for me, it's been a long week for me as well. So we're going to drop down to Vin Bank, the driver who had an issue earlier on. He's closing up to Nikos, the Haas driver. Skimming the barriers, a lot of these drivers. Suddenly I'm Yoda there, am I? Barrier skimmed a lot, I am. Yeah. I tell you what, why hasn't a team like Haas actually done their car up like an X-Wing properly? And the driver's head is like R2-D2.
Oh, really? I mean, I don't know, is that really necessary?
Yes, because I want it.
Oh. No, I mean, I guess if we're gonna start talking about liveries, I'm wondering. It's interesting to see what Williams is going to be next year.
It is a good question, but right now we're going to focus on Nikos and Vin Bank, the 2 Greek drivers, in their eyes, in their elbows very wide as they're trying to get close together. Once again, those 2 are all closing in on the Gort, but we will get on to Williams if there is a point in the race, as normally there is a point in the race where me and my co-commentator, or just me, will talk absolutely rubbish, as Mixilius brought into the pit lane on lap 9.
is on the exit. Oh, this is going to get hairy. And he comes out in P5 in between this battle. Yeah, I guess he's put himself in a pretty good position. I mean, I wouldn't want to be that close behind other cars on cold tyres, but he's got himself in a good position to start overtaking on those fresh tyres. This, well,
definitely.
you know.
And if that hill had been a little bit wider, I think it could have been 2x2 up there if Vinbank had been able to pull out to the right or left.
It could have been, yeah. Actually, it was very, very close. Chopper on pedal though, 7/10. AJ choosing to go onto the ultra softs as well. I've just noticed.
Ah.
Oh, Vinbank just hit the wall twice.
Do excuse my yawning once again. I apologise quite a bit. There's a chunk of front wing missing on that.
Oh, and we got yellow flag in sector 3.
Threatened soccer penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I assume that was him causing the yellow flag.
It's very possible. Have they got a front? They've got a front wing for him as well. As Hamilton goes past him, Peder Solheim is coming round up the straight now, so he will also pass him. Chopper does as well. Now, will AJ get there in time? AJ's coming over the start-finish line now. And if we look to the right-hand side, he has got past as well, yeah. Ooh, clipping the wall there, though. Doesn't seem to be that confident in a Toro Rosso. It doesn't seem to be... It's not the cleanest of drives at the moment.
He's used to Mercedes power, isn't he?
He is used to Mercedes power, yeah. So you think he'd be okay in the Toro Rosso then, because it's, you know, a lot slower.
Maybe he's not used to be able to actually have to scream as he drives down the corner, like, ah, it's too fast!
Well, that's true, I guess. We've got sectors 1 and 2.
Sector 1 and 2. Vanquish?
I don't know, nothing major. Going on back on board with Mixelis, who is Nikos, sorry, who is right up the gearbox of the Gort at the moment. The Gort being another very, very talented driver.
Yeah, and he's got the speed on the straight line with Gort has right now, hasn't he?
He does, yeah. Orchard David still yet to pit, leading the race. The Gort in second. So you've got the top 2 still to pit, and Hamilton is still to pit. Yeah.
Look at that, Vanquish also getting a penalty.
So just looking at this now, who was leading the race before the pit stops? It was Mixelis, wasn't it?
Mixelis, yeah, by quite a margin.
So looking at this, Nikos, once the top 2 pit, Nikos actually gains the lead. So he jumped Mixelis in the pit stops.
And that's brilliant for the Haas driver. He managed to in P2.
So he's actually in P3 at the moment, right behind the Gort. But Mixelis is just down the road from them, so that's a nice little battle there going to be shaping up. And then Vinbank, obviously, so the top 2 have changed. Changed positions as we've got an engine glitch on top of Vinbank's Toro Rosso.
Oh joy, that's still in the game.
Thank you, Codemasters. Please sort it out. It hurts my ears.
But obviously all of these drivers are going to be pushing like absolute mad. They still have a fair distance to go in this Grand Prix.
And the Gort is actually... The Gort is really closing in on Orchard Davids. I don't know if Orchard David made quite a few mistakes that last lap.
Soft tyres are going off, I think.
Yeah, I believe they would be. I mean, they've both done 11.
To the left to avoid the bump there, which you're meant to do. If you take the bump, you lose a little bit more time.
If you take the bump, you end up in a wall. It's horrible hitting that bump. It puts the car all sorts of wrong.
Joys of running no traction.
Oh, thankfully I don't.
So going through the tunnel now, this is obviously where Michael Schumacher had that issue with Juan Pablo Montoya many years ago. Well, can you believe that in a few years that would have been 20 years ago?
God blimey, yeah, actually that is that's quite a long, yeah, that's a long time ago, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna be 20 next year as well.
Alright, you're just a baby then, aren't you, really?
Well, for you too.
I don't say my age, but I'm not going to say my age.
Don't say his age, but his beard has a little bit of white in it. As he comes, as you see the car, I'm going to try and talk as quickly as I can to try and make it as less awkward as the Gort try to attack Orchard David, but he isn't able to. Yet.
not this lap. AJ to the P closing up on Peder Solheim though. Both pitted on the same lap, and he's actually taken 4.5 seconds out of Peder.
Oh, David's almost losing it. David almost lost it, but he's still there. AJ and Peder are having a fight.
No, they are having a fight. As we go on board with you.
Oh no! The Gort has rear-ended David. No damage though, but enough to make the Sauber squirm.
Oh god, I'm trying to watch 2 battles at once here.
You focus on one, I'll focus on the other.
I'm going back down to AJ's battle because he's at the hairpin right behind Peder right now. Peder takes that line a lot wider.
The Gort getting a penalty.
AJ is all over the back of Peder right now. Going through the tunnel. Peder got a really good exit. Oh, he's hit the wall though. And AJ's going down the inside into the chicane. Oh, there's contact. A little bit of contact, wheel to wheel. AJ gets the position back.
Very good racing for the two of them. I suddenly jumped on board and had an engine glitch from the Honda, so it's one or the other. But AJ and Solheim are still fighting, I'm
not really too sure what just happened there. That was okay. As Peder pits, he must have wing damage. But AJ, I don't know if there was lag in the session just then. But AJ seemed to jump ahead of Peder. So I'm not sure if that'll be taken to the steward saying that he lagged in front of me or not. But we should have to wait and see at the end of the race. The top 4 are really backing up now. Top 5 are being really backed up now. Those tyres of Orchard David just don't seem to have much life left in them, as they're causing like a train behind each other now.
Safety car deployed in the form of a Sauber.
Yeah, I was looking at the top right left hand corner then thinking, oh no, not a safety car. As David goes wild through,
yellow flag, though.
That would have been David. I believe. Sure? Yeah, now I'm trying to work out what turn that was. 13, I think, 13 or 14. The rear end just kicking out and just putting it into a complete power slide through there.
The Gort closing in, but he can't make it stick. He needs to be within 3/10 closer to him into turn 1. He's just turning up at like 4/10. He's not able to do it.
So the problem that the Gort's facing right now is he's got 14 lap old tyres. He's on a harder compound, so this is doing his tyres absolutely no good. And you've got Nikos and Mixless behind, who are only on 6 and 8 laps, so they've got much new tyres. So they all need David to pit. They need David out the way, because they're doing their tyres absolutely no good whatsoever right now.
Definitely not. I think David's going to continue on though, and I think he'll be going to super softs at the end of this.
Yellow's in sector 2.
Yellow flags. Not sure who that was. Or just something spun around.
I think it was Vanquish. I believe it would have been Vanquish. Not enjoying this track, it doesn't seem, which is a shame because he's definitely got some talent in him as well.
It definitely has. And when will these cars be released by the Sauber? Sauber put into the inside. Sauber
and there we go.
The
Gort is gone. So all these cars having DRS.
No slide at all from the Renault driver.
So now let the racing commence. The Gort is still to pit. So Orchard David is still only just leaving the pit lane now. And the Gort is just finishing sector 1. So let me think about what's going on here.
I tell you what's going to get even dicier. They're coming up to Vanquish in the Williams as blue flags get ready to rain here on lap 16 out of 39 here in Monaco. Getting close to the half race distance. I can't really work it out in my head because I'm blonde as hell and I can't work it out.
So the Gort, when he pits, is going to come out in P8, P9, which is unfortunate really, but obviously that will release Nikos to hopefully push on a little bit more. But Nikos is closing on the Gort all the time. Obviously much newer tyres, a little lock up there from Nikos. But the Gort stays out for another lap. 16 laps onto those super softs right there.
The Haas not enjoying staying in a straight line right now. It seems to be struggling quite a lot, heading along the straights a lot today.
Yeah, it seems to have quite a bit. The dirty air seems to be really affecting the Haas there.
He's in the wall.
I was waiting for a Danny Rick dive bomb in there. I was thinking, no, don't do
it. We both held our breaths for two different reasons. Me because I worried I might sneeze, and you because Danny Rick dive bombs.
Yeah, I just had an image that he was getting a bit frustrated behind the gore, and he was going to go for it. But then again, he could go for it here, outside the tunnel. But I think he's just too far back now. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be going for it. No. You just sit there and make sure that no one makes a mistake, or if he makes a mistake, then just take it cleanly. Don't push something that's not really there.
Definitely not. You see every camera getting destroyed. More bills going to teams because they're killing cameras right now.
But he is closer though. He is closer.
Yeah.
Now he's got to get a good exit here, which he does. But he's dropped back. He's dropped back by 2/10. So it's not close enough this lap.
No, it's not. I think 3/10 is the magic number for
I think it is. Yeah. As it's being proven by Mixless behind, he is staying within 2 and 3/10 for practically the whole lap. The whole lap, and it's just. There's a massive lock up there by Nikos. A massive lock up there.
Yeah, Nikos looked at for a Danny Rick dive on De Gort, ran him out wide, and De Gort's hit the wall, and that's damage on the Renault.
And do we finally have some? Yeah, he's only got half a wing now, so we've got red right-hand side wing here for De Gort. Surely he can't push any more out of that car. He's got to pit now.
Oh, he's getting close to warning him. The gap is closing, and Nikos having to lock up his tyres, thinking, oh God, he's everywhere.
I've got to come back on board with Nikos. I was looking at the Gort's wing just then. Yeah, the Gort's got to pit this lap. I feel he needs to. Mixless is right on the back of Nikos as well now. It's getting very, very close at the front there. Very exciting as the Gort pits.
Second safety car deployed in the form of a Renault. Here we go. Oh, Vinbank has retired for the session.
Vanquish. So that was before the tunnel. I think at the hairpin maybe. I could be wrong. I'm not sure whereabouts he is. I don't see any yellow flags anywhere now, or green flags saying that. Hamilton.
I had a quick cough there.
Hamilton still to pit, 18 laps on those super softs. A very good drive from Hamilton. Very good drive there. As we've got a little bit of lag from Vinblank there. Just jumping ahead of Hamilton a bit.
So lap 19 out of 39 here in Monaco, and we have Nikos in first position, who jumped Mixilius in P2 in the pit lane. Then there's Vinbank in P3 ahead of Hamilton in P4. Chopper in P5, who's doing very well to keep it out of the barriers, and then AJ in P6 after his big spin. Then Orchard David in P7 ahead of Breton in P8, and the Gort, who's just pitted in P9 for a new front wing. Paolo Solheim is 17 seconds behind, and he seems to be struggling to catch up, but then again it's Monaco. You can't really catch up.
No, you can't catch up. I think Pedder might question, or might want to try and get back into GP2 after tonight, but it's not the best track to test how good you are, really.
It definitely isn't.
This track just takes no prisoners. Let's be honest.
Still 6 steps between the two leaders, as you see Mixilius trying to line up a move. I tell you what, these guys are not wanting us to talk about our normal Formula 1 rubbish in the middle of the race, because these two are still pushing like absolute madmen tonight. Yeah,
they are. They're actually. It's actually good to watch. I don't think I've really switched cameras very much off of these two, because the battle is always so close. As Nikos taps the wall just there. I'm scared if I go off of these two, I'm going to miss something. If I'm honest.
Well, I'm on them as well, so it all gets very, very fun. Paolo Solheim is in the pit lane now.
Is that going to be a retirement? No, he's not retired. He's back out, but he's going to have to be very careful as the two leaders are coming up turn 1 now. and they're going to be approaching that McLaren very soon.
On board with Nikos, trying to see if we can find the McLaren, pick it out in these buildings. Shouldn't be hard to miss. It's big and it's orange, and it's got a Renault power unit in the back, so it's normally on fire.
Oh, Vinblank is.
I'm a Renault supporter as well.
Oh, Vinblank is lagging quite badly. I don't know if he's lagging for you or if it's because you know, the connection isn't very good, but he is red barring. And I'm not sure if it's him that's lagging or if it's Hamilton that's lagging, but it definitely does seem to be some lag there.
To be fair, I'm not getting any lag off any drivers right now.
Maybe it's me then.
I mean, I did just witness Vinbank deciding that he wanted to be part of the wall, but still, he's carrying on. He's absolutely hard. He's trying to close up to Maxilius, who's dropped back from Nikos a bit.
Just noticing going through the cars as they come out of the little chicane after the tunnel, just how close they get to that right hand side wall, which is as I've actually I have experienced first-hand experience, dodgy, because that little break in the barrier, you easily lose a wheel there. I don't know if you've ever noticed it. There's a little break in the barrier on the right hand side. There's two little red bits. There's actually a gap, and it's horrible. Your wheel gets caught, and it's good night.
There's a similar one at Montreal as well, which we're going to next week.
Yes, there is. I believe a couple of drivers actually got caught out there in the other league when we were there a couple of weeks ago.
And the other league I commented on Zippo races, and it seems you're having more luck in the Honda, putting the Honda power than Mercedes power in this in the here.
It does. I would like to say it was a solid race last week, but it was only through time penalties and position changes that I got a decent result. But I can build on that and move forward. The thing is, while I'm in two leagues now, I'm taking a confidence from each league into the next race of the next league, and I just find that my confidence is growing and growing and growing.
Hamilton's it.
Hamilton finally pits. No, that's fine. Hamilton pits for a new front wing as well. As David passes, threatens into the pits as well. So Hamilton, is he going to get passed by the Gort? Yes, he does. But is he going to get passed by
the Williams?
The Williams is just sat in the pits. There's no men there. It's doing nothing.
Yeah, that's a visual glitch for you, mate. I had that earlier.
Oh, okay. Now he's leaving. Wow. I'll make a little note of that.
After another. Codemasters, quality games since 2010.
Yeah, they seem to fix something and break something else, don't they?
Yeah, well, I just throw my phone across the room, so you know, that's how you do it.
Don't do that, mate. It costs you a lot of money if your screen goes.
Tell you what, it already is gone. I broke it on the first week I had it.
Oh, expensive.
Never broken a phone in my life. Never broken a phone in my life. Decided not to get, as Fretton's retired from the race. I think to be fair, well, not to be fair, actually, that's annoying.
I'm trying to see where it was.
Yeah, it was sector 1 and 2, so it might be high up.
AJ is on the back of Chopper right now for P4. AJ doing 17 laps on those ultra softs.
Here we go. Yeah, Fretton's lost it at the same point where Orchard David crashed.
Oh yes. Oh, Chopper's into the wall. Chopper is into the wall. AJ up the middle. Oh, contact. Oh, AJ gets
I think that's just about fair, to be honest. That's about as close as you can get at Monaco.
Yes. Now,
a little bit of a bump and scratch.
Talking of walls everywhere, have you seen Cars 3?
I have seen Cars 3.
Now,
this is a very odd turn. I haven't expected this.
Now, every time I come to Monaco, the little scene, "You have hit the wall. You have hit the wall," comes to mind. That's all I ever think about. Every time I see someone bouncing off of a wall, that's the first thing that comes into my head is when they're on that racing sim.
Can I just say that I was genuinely terrified of what you're going to say when we were going on to Cars 3. But also, in retrospect, as AJ pulls into the pit lane to get a new front wing, same as Chopper, in retrospect, though, I am a big Disney fan with all of
I
that.
love Disney.
And I saw the trailer for Cars 3. I'm actually a really big Pixar fan more than Disney. But I saw the Cars 3 trailer, and I immediately knew that is the film I wanted to watch.
Yes, it's a great film.
Oh, it's better than Cars 2, and it's just as good as Cars 1.
Yes. AJ
You know,
down to.
I'll go through the original draft of Cars with you. I'll tell you what, it's messed up, mate. It's seriously messed up.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave that. If anyone wants to know about it, can DM me later. But slide into my DMs. Jeez, they're so lonely.
It's because he has no friends, ladies and gentlemen. He asks you and begs and pleads with you to message him because no one does.
No, no one does. Except for I want to listen with this guy, so I'm going to talk to you. I want to try and talk to you. Oh, hello, how are you doing? I just want to report this guy. Oh, okay.
As his tail starts wagging because he thinks he's got a friend.
How do you know I have my tail in today?
Anyway, back to racing. Mixelis is 6th. Oh, he's lost 4/10 out of turn 1.
Oh,
as Chopper has retired in sector 2.
Oh god! Solheim almost did 2!
Now I've missed where that could be. Where are we going?
I'm on board with Solheim right now to try and just see you through this little like scenic bit of Monaco so we can see the stricken remains of Ferrari.
Hamilton. In P6. Now, considering that as a standard setup, that's... Jeez.
Oh, okay, what's happened is Chopper has turned in too early at the chicane after the tunnel.
Oh, yeah, he's clipped the wheel.
Much like Mark did in qualifying.
Yes, that's unfortunate for Chopper. I mean, he was in P8, I think. That is actually really unfortunate for Chopper.
It definitely is, and obviously with the amount of retirees we had this race, unfortunately, well, much like as it should be at Monaco, everyone who finishes gets a point.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good introduction, wouldn't it? Then you just get pit drivers driving around like 30 miles an hour. Well, we finished, so what points do we get? I guess...
Everyone who finishes at racing speed gets a point.
And to be fair, the race is boring enough as it is without seeing people driving at 30 miles an hour around a track.
Then again, you know, it is Monaco, and Daniel Ricciardo did do that in 2018. Monaco, come watch Scalextrics.
It is basically Scalextrics, isn't it? It's got to be the worst track on the calendar.
Yeah. I think when it rains it's entertaining. Like 2016 when it was raining was genuinely entertaining.
I think any track in the wet is entertaining.
Yeah, everyone was going like USA was the best race of the season. I fell asleep.
Well, I tell you what, it's entertaining to watch Max in the rain as well.
Yeah, I think my dad likes watching Stroll in the rain as well. Because, you know, Stroll's only just got out of wearing those yellow wellies that his daddy gave him.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's got to be interesting at some point in his career, isn't it? If it's in the wet that it is, then so be it. It's not the only time he'll get any highlights.
Sirotkin did that great defending job against Perez.
Oh, was that where was that? Was that at Baku?
Singapore.
I know, yeah, that'll do. Singapore, yeah. I've slept since all these races, you know.
You know what? The joys of insomnia, right there.
Yes. Closest battle on track is the Gort on David for P4.
I don't know how this is going to go because obviously last time it was the Gort that spam and crashes the wall. This time,
as David loses it, David lost it coming out. I think he hit the bump. Now I believe Nikos may have made a mistake because that time has just tumbled from almost 1.3.
It's hemorrhaging time.
It was 1.3 and it's gone down to 0.5. So he must have made a mistake.
There is no damage from what I can see on that Haas.
But I mean, them tyres are doing well.
If we are 22 laps, did 2 laps to jump him. That's doing good. He's controlling the pace now with 11 laps to go.
I don't think Nikos has got any penalties. I'm just going to check now. as I go into the race director. Now,
Oh, the Gort's in the pit lane.
Nikos warning.
The Gort's in the pit lane. He is though slingshotted Hamilton right up to behind David. This is going to get even better. And why isn't there a Formula One driver called David Hamilton? I require this in my life.
David Hamilton. So, just touching on penalties. Who was I talking about? Nikos has a 3-second time penalty, whereas the guy in second is Mixilus, isn't it?
Mixilus. Yeah.
He has none. He doesn't even have a warning.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
So that is actually that is an incredibly clean drive there from Mixilus.
Definitely is, and right now we're on board with Hamilton though. He's got his eyes on getting past the flower of David. The Irish flower versus Hamilton, who is from, please insert country name here because I can't remember his flag. Oh, and he's rear-ended him! Damage on the Mercedes now, and that, I think we'll go straight to the stewards for brake checking.
I want to press the mute button. Now, was that a bit of weaving down the track there from David as well?
I was on the broadcast cam, so I did not see.
It appeared there might have been a little bit of weaving down the pit straight there from David. Obviously, I didn't see what happened for the contact, but Hamilton seems to be having the run of bad luck at the moment with incidents.
He definitely does. Unlike Lewis Hamilton in 2018. Come watch Formula One. Why do I do this? It's almost as bad as the puns I was making last week.
Oh, yeah. Let's not do that.
There's no one can make a fun about this time.
No, you almost put me in the wall so many times last week.
So yeah, Zippo sits down when he's racing. He has a long. Oh, look at that big mistake from David though. As David's trying to defend from Hamilton, but you know Hamilton can't pass through here. This is the point where earlier in the race there was a little bit of a brake check. It might not have been, but you see Hamilton very cautious in the brakes there.
Huge lock up there from Hamilton though.
3 temps as well.
He is. Let's see if it works.
There, he's moving around quite a lot on track. Hamilton pulling round to the outside, still on the outside. He's going straight on into the wall. No, he's managed to make it. Oh no, that time he's in the wall. AJ can't believe his luck, and his AJ's rear-ended him.
Oh, is there damage on that Toro Rosso?
Big damage on the Toro Rosso's nose.
Oh,
no end plate, no winglets.
Oh dear. He's lost the end plate. That's all he's lost. The left-hand side end plate. Yeah. So that's probably going to be yellow, I would have said. The track is doable in yellow as he's trying to warm his tyres up here.
Meanwhile, back up to Hamilton. Just going to touch on what I was mentioning earlier. Yeah, when Zippo races, he has a bunch of headphones sticking out of his cable so he can listen to the stream at the same time. Mainly to steal information, but also to listen to my really, really, really bad dad jokes.
Yeah, they were terrible. Absolutely terrible last week.
From the dad himself.
Yes. Probably jokes that even I wouldn't be trying to crack, but they were, yeah. Don't quit your day job as comms.
Trying to get past David. He's there, but David's moving around quite a bit under braking, isn't he?
He is. There's a lot of weaving going on. And he's got a very slow exit out of turn 1 as he goes up the hill there. And I've just seen in the wing mirrors of the Mercedes, you have got that Toro Rosso just lurking behind as I lose my breath there.
Yeah, welcome to my world, mate. Get big lungs. Oh, speaking of lungs, Nicky Lauda's been released from hospital after 2 months of being in there.
Oh, has he? He had didn't he have quite a lot of operations done, didn't he?
He had a double lung transplant.
Wow.
No. It must be the first time he's breathing clearly since the 1970s.
I will take your word for it. David's made a big mistake
though, he's cut the corner. Hopefully we'll see Nicky back at the F1 race soon. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, he's definitely a key figure in the Mercedes garage, isn't he?
I think he's a laugh as well.
I'm going to go on board with David down this straight and see if I can see the wheel moving too much.
All right. So, you see Hamilton almost losing the back end now as he's pushing hard onto David's rear end. But, oh, side by side up here, Hamilton to almost taking the opportunity. Hamilton is frustrated behind the back end of the Sauber. He's sick of seeing the words Alfa Romeo on there. He's sick of it. And you know what? In all of this, is lap 33 now, and none of us have noticed.
Oh wow, yeah, we have. And this being the closest battle on track, just not to mention that Nikos seems to have turned that engine up now. He's 2.1 seconds ahead of Mixelis in second place. Maybe he's realised that there are no time penalties behind him. I better get a shift on now if he wants to take that win.
He definitely does. But as David is still doing a magnificent job at defending from Hamilton, Hamilton is equally getting more frustrated. Much like his namesake, he is getting very angry in that car, clearly.
AJ just dropping back a little bit. Maybe he can sense that there's going to be something. There's a huge lock up there from Hamilton, but he is within. He's in DRS range again. There's not that magic number behind, but he's gaining. He is so much faster in a straight like with DRS there than what he is than what David is.
That's very slow through there from David, actually.
Yeah, no comment.
That felt like he plateaued the throttle a bit there, but you know, we can't comment on anything. We can only comment on what we're seeing. We're only speculating because that's what we do. We're sat here in a comms box, a very sweaty one though right now because you know, starting to smell a bit. Jesus man, you could have had a shower in that 5 minutes.
Yeah. I should have done really, shouldn't I? Just noticing, Sector 3, Vin Blank. Oh.
And this suddenly got more tasty.
Yes,
this is a fight for the for a podium now, isn't it?
It is, yes. I'm on board with Orchard David to see where Vin Blank's lost it. Oh, it's going to be through that.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big crash right there. Oh, David's lost it too. And now Hamilton's on his outside. David to go around his outside. Jarno Trulli. No, he doesn't manage it this time. And that was very close there. What happened was David lost it, and then Hamilton went into the back of him. 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 1 tenth, one right to the inside. Hamilton this time wants to do it. He can't do it.
Oh, he's got so much control there. Now, something that I have noticed about Hamilton.
Oh,
AJ!
Oh, AJ! Oh God, that was almost a very big word of swear words there from me. I do apologise for that. That almost went very badly in the commentary side of things.
Oh, I was just listening to you squirm. I was just touching on the ERS from Hamilton's car here. He manages that ERS. If he's doing manual ERS, he manages that incredibly. Absolutely incredibly. If you keep an eye on that as well, I don't know how he does it. He doesn't drop below 75% in ERS at all, ever.
Obviously, ERS. If you're not aware of what ERS is, electrical recovery system, yada yada yada. It's the thing. It's basically the batteries that we finally have control over. We have an overtake button in the game, and yet, I mean, I run it manual, and I sort of drain it every 5 minutes. But you know. Right, here we go. 3 tenths, 1 tenth. That is sort of frustrating Hamilton, you can see. But David's finally cracked and got a penalty. Is this enough, though? Is this enough?
Oh my God, that is. You do not go too wide up there. That was incredible.
Right. Oh, David,
big slide.
those tyres, they're starting to go. It's happening again.
I don't know how.
36 out of 49.
39.
Laps.
I've actually been incredibly good. I do not know how I've not sworn once yet. There's been a few come in there.
Right. You heard me squirm to try and stop myself from doing it. But look at that. Mixilius is closing right up to Nikos once more. The lead is still in threaten on the road.
I'm just going to... if you keep on board with everybody, I'm going to check 3rd, 4th and 5th time penalties.
Yeah, go on, man.
Just to see.
I will squeal if something happens, and I can sense something happening in me waters. I can sense something. God, how northern did I have to sound there?
Waters.
David's got it all wrong though, coming towards the final corner. DRS open within a tenth. Oh, come on, Hamilton. I'm rooting for you at this point. He's running him close to the wall, and this is getting very dicey. Brilliant battling from these two, knowing where to stop and where not to stop. But you see, Hamilton has got his eyes on it, and he wants that P3. He's gagging for it. He's begging just to get into P3 now, and he has to get past him sooner rather than later. Lap 37 out of 49. 49 out of 39. Did I say 47?
I don't know. I'm not going to say anything.
They've all got time penalties, haven't they?
Not really.
Here we go, lining up move. Danny Rick dive bomb from Hamilton, double lock up and doesn't work.
And the reason that
AJ's
I'm
up
not.
For a spin, no?
Oh, AJ. And the reason that I'm not saying anything.
David's got it wrong. Here comes Hamilton. David got shadow crashed. Big accident there, and that I believe was Orchard David's fault.
Oh dear. Is what I'm going to say here.
Can I just say I just punched a pair of jeans that had the end of my bed off?
I didn't actually see what happened there, but that seemed to be
I've got my
as
replay
though.
cam open. I've got my replay cam open, and what happens is, right, Orchard David gets it all wrong trying to defend from Hamilton. They go side by side, and Hamilton. It's hard to explain what happened. David got it all wrong, cutting that corner on the second inside chicane, and he's therefore then ploughed into Hamilton and forced him into the wall, and that is definitely going to the stewards.
That is David's fault all day long, then, is it?
From my opinion, yes.
Oh wow. Well, basically, what I was going to say is it's non-existent now because obviously Hamilton's no longer racing. The reason I kept quiet, in case that either of these two are watching the stream, I didn't want them to slow down. David has 9 seconds, I think it is, of penalties, whereas Hamilton only had 3. So he really didn't need to be pushing that hard. But the lead is now down to 5 tenths, and I don't think Mixless has still got not got a penalty.
I haven't seen anything, but this is it now. This is the last lap of the Grand Prix. In all of that madness, when I went completely nuts and kicked a pair of jeans off my bed, it is the last lap of the Grand Prix, and Mixless is going to win this Grand Prix at this point. But there, it's a Toro Rosso. God knows who that is. I believe that's AJ.
He's a lap car currently. The Gort is in 3rd. And the Gort is only just coming out of Sector 1 now, so AJ is actually a lap car in 4th.
So here we go. We're about to see Mixless become the second, and Hamilton leaves the session, understandably angry.
Yeah, he's going to be furious.
About to cross the line. On the road, P2. On the results, P1
race
for
winner.
Mixless.
Great
And that is a
drive.
race winner in the Force India team, and that was controlled from start to finish. Where's the Gort?
The Gort is coming through Sector 3 now.
That seemed to be a fantastic race right there.
I can imagine it's going to get a little bit heated in the chats after this race, though.
Definitely, as you see, there's the Gort finishing in P3.
So we started with, what, 11 drivers, and we ended up with 6?
Less than 11.
6, I think?
There we go, Renault, Haas and Force India on the podium. The Gort, Nikos and Mixless on pole position in the podium. 3 different engines as well as 3 different colours.
It was a good battle.
Definitely was.
Unfortunate for Nikos getting the 3 seconds of time penalties there. Incredibly unlucky. He had a very, very good drive. Jumping Mixless in the pits was brilliant. But I can imagine that's your final grid or final positions there. But I think there's going to be a few penalties to be added on here.
Definitely will be. So on the road right now, the official unofficial results are Mixless in P1 ahead of Nikos in P2. De Gore in P3 and Ages in P, starting where he finished in P4. Orchard David in P5 and Peter Solheim finishing in P6. The non-finishers are Hamilton, Vim Blank, Chopper, Threaten, and Vanquish.
As Nikos leaves the session now. But that was actually a very good race. Lots of close battling. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that.
It definitely was, and we didn't have a moment to talk about the Williams livery. Obviously, me and Zippo will talk about that livery later on. That's what we normally do.